Ladies and gentlemen, I am sending to all of you to know that Space Gods want to bring government of Canada in the parliament, their building on the attack by this earthquake happening in the Japan. So God want my duty to send in all of you to the YouTube, to the world YouTube, to receive that Canadian Security Service and their police in Canada did crime behind my future by many hand, which is the cost me major risk in my life in Canada. And not many people know that what is happening in Canada so far and what is the plan in Canada coming to happen. According to information, gentlemen, I have government of Canada coming on the Japan earthquake to tsunami to bring their basically country on the water, especially their capital city Ottawa, because of the crime of the Canada, what they did cause behind my case, behind my future. Not many people know that what Canada did from their police, their RCMP and their Canadian Security Service behind my future. Whoever was in my case, he was going to die. So God want I bring lawsuit against the government Canada by 3 earthquakes in the country, which is 8.7, 7.7 and 9.3, which is the returning to BC Vancouver according to God 9.3. This information must go to many of you according to the God. To this information go to the news world to receive that government of Canada under this investigation on the lawsuit by Space God side to this building here. According to my information, this building facing this here, which is you can see that Japan earthquake coming to their government by angel of the gods coming to attack government of Canada. And this angel of the God want to many people receive that in the YouTube world to know that this third department in Canada casting behind me many crime, basically disconnect me with my own country, which is not many people know that, especially from BC Vancouver when I came, many crime behind my future they did, and costing me not only interruption, cost me damage, affect to be completely behind my future. So this information God want to go to this house. Many of you received that your parliament building is coming to be destroyed in the Ottawa according to the information I have, and by my lawsuit against your RCMP, against your Canadian Security Service to completely be removed, and my investigation coming to your police chief in your country for crime of your police behind my future by RCMP what they did by 9.7 earthquake coming to you to bring investigation to your country in Ottawa by Japan earthquake, because many people they don't know that, gentlemen, what Canada did cost behind my future, behind my life, many crime. I have 1,000 book, 1,000 page to writing about crime of Canada, but according to the God, he want to bring their country on the water, on the world breaking news, on the investigation. So this investigation coming by God, ladies and gentlemen, to bring Canada government on the world news, on the breaking world news by 8.7 earthquake to the parliament building, which is here. According to information I have, the parliament building be destroyed, completely be crushed down by this earthquake coming to bring into the parliaments of Canada, which is here. Everything in Canada built into their capital city coming on the news, according to the gods, to bring in this department, whoever was behind my case, on the breaking world news and the investigation, because God want to completely destroy this building under my investigation for lawsuit. This building from here is going to be cracked down, gentlemen. It's going to fall down. And completely all this into the capital city be destroyed to bring in this man under my investigation. God told for 700,000 trillion, God want from this man for basically you can call Muslim or other culture or any culture behind the mic is casting even to today crime in Canada. So this information God want to many of you receive that. According to the God, they did face him this tsunami major, but is not subject is that subject is Canada going under this tsunami, gentlemen.
8.9 magnitude. Now we know that's a big number. It was the 5th largest earthquake in history. But you can only really understand the enormity when you see these pictures. An earthquake so strong it literally shifted the Earth's axis by about 25 centimeters. It all started at the epicenter near Sendai, 230 miles northeast of Tokyo. Shockwaves that gave birth to a massive tsunami that started 35 minutes later. Saigai, the Japanese word for disaster.
That tsunami reached 23 feet high in some places, nearly twice the height of me standing on Chris's shoulders, for example. And that wall of water is primarily the cause of a death toll that is in the hundreds, but is certain to rise, with 88,000 people in Japan still unaccounted for. The tsunami is also what triggered so many fears in the U.S. today, as the entire West Coast and Hawaii went on alert. But tsunami alerts and warnings were not foolproof in Japan. The people there had little time to prepare, and even worse, few places to run.
It has SOS. Helicopters, please land here.
Today, Japan woke up to widespread devastation. It is hard to believe it's been just...
This information must go to many of you to know that according to the God, this information go to the YouTube to many in the world receive that government of Canada coming under my investigation for got a lawsuit against the government to completely destroy them, their parliament building and their 7 city, according to my information, from Ottawa to Quebec, Montreal, Ontario, be completely crashed down, gentlemen, and coming back to Nova Scotia by this tsunami bridge fall in the Nova Scotia, earthquake casting, and to bringing back to the BC Vancouver, whatever they did BC Vancouver behind my future, the government got to be responsible to come to pay before too late, because 9.3 earthquake got released into the government of BC for this crime they continually they did behind my future, which is costing disconnect me with my country. I don't have paper to go back to my country, even I don't have nothing in my hand. So this is the crime of the movement of terrorist operation in Canada, ladies and gentlemen, which is I bringing this to the Canada very soon under my investigation by 8.7 earthquake to the capital city, Ottawa, which is all the building in the capital city been marked to be destroyed, are the building in Canada. And this information going to many of you to receive that risk is, according to my information I have, a space angel of the God attacking the Canadian Security Service by TNT nuclear explosion, which is here angel of the God raising to do this. To bring in that Canadian Security Service under my investigation any moment, according to God, any time space God attacking government of Canada to bring in the country under my investigation for this crime they discussed, which is I am behind my future.